Hey everyone, welcome to the final part of my in-depth review of the new Blood Angels Codex. As always, my name is Jay, and I once again must start off by saying that an awesome Blood Angel player named Deblet and I did a two-person review on the same Codex. And click on the link up here, and you'll go to it. It's really cool. Just to warn you though, the audio and video quality, not quite there. And that's unfortunate, because Deblet brought a lot to the discussion. So today I'll be going over the Lords of War. There's two of them, the formation, and a list that Deblet just thought would be kind of a cool list, and might be quasi-competitive, might not be, and you guys want you to think about the list. So, two Lords of War in this codex, not just one, two. Two HQs were moved to Lords of War. Now, I always thought it was going to be Mephiston, since he's the close combat hitting monster, but I was wrong. It is Commander Dante, who is, of course, the chapter master of the Blood Angels, and he's basically the oldest living Space Marine that's not in a Dreadnought in the fluff, so makes sense he's a Lord of War. The other one, Gabriel Seth, Chapter Master of the Flesh Terrors, so he's a good guy too. And yeah, both of them have received small points decreases. They both, sorry, just got my nose. They both gone down 5 points each. Commander Dante used to be 225, now he's 220. And Gabriel Seth used to be 160, now he's 155. So slightly cheaper, both Lords of War. Now, of course, you can take these guys in as well as your normal HQs and everything, so they add, you know, an extra guy you can take. So we'll start by going over Dante. Dante is pretty close to his old self, so he's weapon skill 6, and ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 4, sorry, I'm just going to pull up my stuff. Strength toughness 4, weapons, 4 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks, and leadership 10, 2+ save because of his artificer armor. Of course, now his Axe Morales got slightly better. Or is it the same? Slightly better. Yeah, it used to be strength +1, now it's strength +2, AP2. Melee mastercrafted, so pretty nasty close combat weapon. So he's going to be pretty good in close combat. He's a jump pack. You may want to attach him to a squad of Death Company or a squad of Assault Marines and just shoot him at your enemy and watch him destroy them. You know, because he gets 4 attacks, 5 attacks on the charge. He has a lot of special abilities. He also has the Death Mask of Sanguinius, which is really cool. I think it's cool. The Death Masks usually cause a fear check, but in this one, the Death Mask of Sanguinius grants Commander Dante the Fear special rule. Furthermore, at the start of each fight subphase, all enemy units that are locked in combat within 6 inches of Dante must take a fear check, not just the unit in base, not just unit in base to base that he's in contact with. So that's pretty scary. So if he's in a huge swarm of guys 6 inches away, they must take fear checks. That would be awesome against horde armies like orcs, because honestly they're probably going to fail. He has an Artificer Armor, Inferno Pistol for popping vehicles from close range, Frag Ratings, Crack Grenades, Iron Halo, so it's a 4-up invul. I think, yep, he used to have a 4-up invul too, so it's not no change there. Jump Pack, of course. His Warlord trait is Descent of Angels, so that's pretty sweet. So if you're, if you like the Descent of Angels, you like deep striking units before, Commander Dante will probably be for you. Special rules: Nation of No Fear, Eternal Warrior, Furious Charge, Hit and Run, independent characters. So he's just going to run around the battlefield, slaughtering everything in his way. He's Eternal Warrior, and he has 4 wounds, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon. 4-up invul, 2-up save. So solid Lord of War. I think he's going to be great, and I think he actually might be. He's probably going to find his way into several competitive lists, I think. Because if you have like an extra, it's 220 points, so it's a bit expensive. So 1,500 points, you're kind of squeaking it. But he has a lot of hitting power, and he's just going to be bouncing around the battlefield, killing everything. Up next, Gabriel Seth, another Lord of War. I don't think he's going to be taken as much as Commander Dante. His stat line did not change very much at all. He's still 155 points, so he's 155 points, 5 points cheaper. Weapon skill 6, skill 5, strength toughness 4, 4 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 3-up save. Of course, his Relic of Baal is his sword, and it's strength times 2, AP 4, has melee, rending, and 2-handed. So what he lost was, I remember the previous codex, he could do like this crazy attack thing where he attacked everyone in base to base with him, and like slaughter orcs by the dozens, but he doesn't have that anymore. He still has Power Armor, Bolt Pistol, Frag Ratings, Crack Grenades, Iron Halo, Fearless, Furious Charge, Independent Character, and Rage. So, 4 attacks base plus Rage. He's going to get a lot of attacks on the charge. Whirlwind of Gore. When close combat fights in close combat, any to hit roll of 6 causes 1 additional hit on the target. So he gets 6 attacks on the charge. So, if he gets a couple of 6s, extra attacks. That hit, not bad at all. His Warlord trait is Red Rampage, so he gets Rampage. Again, he's not the strongest, and I understand why he got put in the Lord of War chart. And it's kind of weird sometimes when you think about it that these guys are in the same slot as a Stompa, but they're both legendary fighters, and they're both great. Now, as I said, in the competitive environment, I can definitely see Commander Dante being taken more than Gabriel Seth, but I could see them on Endless as well. So that's it. That's the Lord of War. Pretty straightforward stuff. They're pretty cool. I would have loved to see Mephiston in the Lord of War, but I understand why they didn't. Next, the formations. Now, this is a huge formation. As Deblet actually did the math, and it ended up being, if you do basic, it's like 1,300 points, and you get as high as 2,000 points, depending on how you take the squads. And it's a huge formation. Huge formation. By far the largest formation of any Codex we've had in 7th edition. It's the Blood Angels Battle Company. And the formation is 1 captain, a chaplain, a command squad, 6 tactical squads, 2 assault squads, 2 devastator squads, a death company, a dreadnought, and a Furioso dreadnought. And that's no transports. You can take transports, obviously, if you want. And the special rules, Angel's Virtue, and this formation is chosen as your primary detachment. You can re-roll the result when rolling on your Warlord table, which is the normal one for your, if you're Blood Angels. Objective secured, which is huge, and Red Thirst, which once again, same as the Red Thirst. So, it's huge. Now, this is an interesting formation. Now, it's a huge formation. Now the question is, do you want to take this company, or do you want to take it just like, I think there's a standard battle company in the Apocalypse rules. I think the rules might be better for, and they're almost close in points. If you want to fully kit out this formation, it ends up being like just over 2,000 points. Basic, it's in the 1,300 to 1,400 range. So it's a huge formation. But of course, you want to take it. Awesome. It just involves a lot of bodies, 100 plus models, and big objective secured. So that's good. So those 6 tactical squads will be able to hold their objectives. That's pretty good. So that's about it. As I said, the thing is, you have to just debate between if you want to take this battle company or there's a company in the Apocalypse book I remember that had some better rules as well. So up to you. And finally, I'm just going to talk about a list that Deblet thought would be kind of interesting and wanted me to talk to you guys about, and then my final thoughts on this codex. So here's a 1,500 point list that Deblet came up with. He mentioned most of it in our video. But Librarian, so there's 2 HQs. The HQs are Mephiston, who I still think is a very highly competitive HQ. He's instant killable, true, but he's not, you can still, now you can attach him to squads. He's an independent character. And a Librarian Dreadnought level 2. Both of them are attached to a death company. So they're going to, obviously Mephiston's attached to the death company. An 8-man death company, 6 power swords, 2 hammers, and Lamarties in the elite slots. And they'll be attached to Mephiston inside a Storm Raven. The Storm Raven has a last cannon multi-melta, and the Dreadnought will also be in the Storm Raven. Then there are 2 tactical squads. For troops, you have 2 tactical squads in Rhinos, 10 men, with a veteran sergeant upgrade, because you want to get that leadership, the better leadership, and the extra attack. Power sword and melta bombs on the sergeant in case they want to pop something in close combat. Right? They want to throw a melta bomb at a vehicle, blow it up. Good stuff. And a melta gun and missile launcher with flak upgrade in both of them, just in case if you want to try to shoot, you want to get some skyfire going, and you want to take out some flyers. And that's it. And then so the Death Company with Lamarties and will be attached to a Mephiston, and they're going to just go crazy. So turn 2, hopefully you get that Storm Raven to come on. Turn 1, you basically got to keep your tactical squad safe, move them around. I would have personally, I think he also added the, because Rhinos are faster now. So that's good. So they can move to where they want to go. So turn 1, move them to where you want to go, keep them safe. Turn 2, hopefully your Storm Raven comes on, blows up a lot of stuff, drops its cargo if you want. And then turn 3, or even keep them in, and then turn 3, Mephiston attached to Death Company and Lamarties is going to go start killing stuff around the battlefield, taking out whatever you want. And it's a pretty low kill point list. It only has 2 troops, but it has, I think, 7 kill points. So that's not bad. It's pretty mid-range for kill points. So if it's a kill point game, you're not in too much trouble at all. You still have 2 troops that you can combat squad and make them, score objectives if need be. So it's a pretty cool list. So what do you guys think of that list? Do you think it's going to be competitive? You want you guys to think about it. And I think it's going to be cool. So that's it. That concludes my in-depth review of the new Blood Angels Codex. So my final thoughts. Reading this codex over and over again, it's interesting. And now it got very streamlined. Very streamlined. To the sense that I know people in the comment section are already calling them the Red Marines. Because they're very, like, 3 of the sections, definitely the troops and the fast attack are pretty much straight out of the normal Space Marine Codex, except they have Furious Charge. The heavy support is very, very full. So you got to make your decisions. Storm Ravens are going to be a must in competitive play, I believe. I still think Vindicators that are fast are going to be hilarious, and Predators that have the upgraded engines with las cannons are going to be hilarious as well. So you can move them around the battlefield quickly, pop vehicles. As far as HQs go, Mephiston I still think is a solid HQ. He's easier to kill and he's not as strong, but there's ways to buff that with psychic powers. He still has a strength 10 sword on his psychic power. He's the biggest psyker in the Codex, so he's master level 3. I think he's a pretty solid guy. Other HQs I really like are the Librarian Dreadnought. I think he's going to be very survivable, and you need some anti-psycherness and some psychic ability in your Codex. The more I think about it now, I have had a chance, and I've read the comments through. We did forget that Tycho lost his he had a very a power fist or something. I remember he was better in close combat. Tycho's not as good as I thought he was. I still think Tycho the Lost is better than Captain Tycho, providing you're taking Death Company. Librarians are good. Captain's just a straightforward choice if you want a cheap HQ. I think some of the competitive abilities may be some of the competitive lists may be multiple Force Orgs. Just 2 min squads of tacticals or scouts. And Sanguinor, pretty nasty, as is Astorath. Sanguinary Priest and Brother Corbulo, unfortunately, I don't really see them in a lot of lists now that they're taking him an HQ slot rather than, a third of a... You can take 3 of them for a single elite slot. For troops, up to you. Tactical squads, nothing ever wrong with a tactical squad. Obviously, most people preferred Assault Marines in the previous Codex. Scout squads, though, have homing beacons and infiltrate, so if you want to do a lot of deep striking, they could be for you. Command squads are pretty cool. Death Company are still Death Company. You can take max squads of 15, min squads of 5, but they're going to be nasty now that they can actually score objectives and they can go just bounce around the field killing stuff. If you take Death Company, I highly recommend jump packs. For 3 points each, it's just a gimme. You take them jump packs, attach some stuff, and just jump at them. And that's what I'm going to do. Lamartie's. He might find his way in the list like he found his way into Deblet's list. But he takes some elite slot. Sanguinary Guard are pretty strong. Artificer Armor, jump packs, pretty solid. Dreadnought, Dreadnoughts can take multi-melts now. That's pretty sweet. But I prefer the Furioso or the Death Company Dreadnought, depending on which one you want to take. Each have their pros and cons. They're both pretty solid at 125 points. It's up to you if you want to take Blood Talons. Blood Talons used to be an automatic include because they had that cool rule. They cause more attacks and more attacks and more attacks and more attacks and more attacks. Now they don't do that. Basically, they adjust their power fist with shred. They're both going to hit at strength 10, but if you want that shredding ability, go with Talons. Terminator squads are still Terminator squads. If you liked them before, you'll like them again. You probably want to give them a transport. Land Raider. Vanguard veterans and Sternguard veterans, they have access to grav weapons. Could be pretty cool. Now they're elites instead of fast attack for the Sternguard. As far as the dedicated transports go, they're fast. You have a fast Rhino and a fast Razorback. Nothing wrong there. You're forced to pay the 10-point upgrade, but still, fast Rhino. Couldn't hurt at all. Gets your guys where they want to go. And that's their job. As far as the fast attack goes, I don't really see a lot of the fast attacks being used in a lot of lists. If you did before, you could again. They all got slightly cheaper, so that's good. The Assault Marines were the foundation of the troop section before, but now that they're in the fast attacks, I personally would prefer Death Company over the Assault Marines since they have the same function, but Death Company are just better at it. And neither one can score objectives versus objectives secured, so you're in good shape either way. Heavy support, Storm Raven, as I mentioned, the Predator, and we've got overworld stuff. So it's a good codex. It's not by any means a bad codex, and as far as Lords of War go, Dante. But it's not a bad codex at all. It's just it's very streamlined, mainstream, I will say. It's very, very close to the Space Marines codex. But there's still some special things in it that will make Blood Angels players happy. And I think there's some good combinations. And we just gotta wait and see, try out some stuff and see which combinations rise to the top, which ones stay at the bottom, who works out, who doesn't work out. But it's by no means a terrible codex or anything like that. As I said, there's still some very viable options and some great options. They streamlined it a lot. A lot of the rules got removed that made them special. And and so forth. So I really hope you enjoyed this in-depth series of reviews on the new Blood Angels Codex. And as I mentioned, go check out the one top corner right there. Go check out the final video that Deblet and I filmed. As I said, the audio and video quality in Portuguese is not there, but the information is. So thank you very much for watching this series. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.